Moving now to take a look at our ability to move or copy data, we can select option 3 from the Utilities menu. And in this case, you'll notice that this screen deals with the data set we are coming from. There are several things to keep in mind. A copy, of course, retains the original, whereas a move does not. Therefore, a move is considered a destructive action that results in the loss of the original when it creates the new version. Another point to remember is that when we take a look at the data set names here, you can see that we have an option here where we can specify asterisk to indicate that we want all of the members copied. If we do not specify that, then we will be prompted for the members that we wish to select. So in this particular case, I'm going to leave this blank so that we can see what the prompting looks like. But I can also specify a different from data set, again by using the name row, in order to specify a data set other than the default that I'm working with. In this case, I'm going to select this to copy from, so I type in a C on the command line, I hit enter, and now I get to my to screen, which is to define the data set I intend to copy information to. You can see there are several options here, including the ability, for example, to replace members with the same name and aliases and things of that sort that are characteristics that some of the members may have. But another aspect to this is that I can create a new data set here as well. So that, for example, if I put in the name of a data set that I want to copy it to, if that data set is not already exist, if I have not allocated it, then when I hit enter, I will be prompted with a screen that says, go ahead and use the attributes of the originating data set, or I can select an option that allows me to modify what those attributes might be. In this case, I will simply use the same attributes as the original, specifying 1, and once I do that, the data set is allocated. Now you can see that we have a copy function that describes the data sets that I'm copying from and the one I'm going to. And now I have a list of the members, and so what I would do then is I can simply cursor down and select the ones that I want to copy. And based on that selection then, when I hit the enter key, you can see that we've indicated which files we have copied now to the new data set. Again, if the intent was to copy all of the members, then on the original screen, we would have simply placed an asterisk under the members heading, and from there, then it would have copied all of the members without any additional prompting. One of the other things to reiterate is that in the last module, we had talked about using the nesting function to be able to move between the different panels. So from this panel here, one of the things that we can do now is go to option 3.4, which was the dataset utility. So in this case, I can simply type in equal 3.4, and that immediately takes me then to that particular panel. And again, you can see that we have a dataset level name here. And so in this case, when I hit enter, it will pull up all of the data sets that belong to this particular user ID. I can use the F7 or 8 key to scroll forward and backward through this list. And of course, I can come down and I can select a specific action I want to perform. And if I'm not sure about my choices, I can simply place a slash next to the data set I'm interested in, and I bring up my pop-up window showing all of the actions that can be performed. In particular, we can see that 3.4 really encompasses all of the choices that we have for managing data sets. So both in terms of what we can do for libraries that we saw under 3.1, the allocation of data sets even that we see in 3.2, as well as copying data sets in 3.3 can all be done from here. In addition, options 1 and 2, which are the view and the edit options from the primary menu, can also be performed from here. So in essence, 3.4 becomes a generalized work area that you can use to perform the majority of functions that you need against data sets. As a final point, we can take a look then at the reset statistics associated with ISPF. And so in this case, I would do an equal 3.5 to go directly to that screen. And you can see in this case here, we have the choices then, again, to select the data set that we're interested in, and then we can reset the ISPF statistics. This is only applicable to partition data sets or PDSEs. It is not applicable to a sequential file since there are no ISPF statistics because there are no directory entries for individual members. So we can use this, but it's primarily intended for change management or library management that would be associated more with project control, such as moving programs from source into production or implementation. As a result, you can see that we have the options here of using this with the SCLM, which is the other component of ISPF that deals with project and library management. For general usage, resetting ISPF statistics is generally not done and doesn't serve any particular purpose since the user is largely responsible for what they have in their own data sets.